Thank you very much. Quite frankly, who I would like to address isn't in this room. I want to make a point, though. If you look behind me, what you won't find are any family members here anymore, because we've given up. You've crushed our spirit. This building crushed our spirits. Before I get into any more of that, I want to clarify just a few things that were discussed yesterday that is a very common misconception in this whole entire battle. But Chairman Powell rightfully asked, how do we get medicine? And unfortunately, I would be willing to bet you that there might be 4 people in this room that truly understand how we get medicine. So I'm going to explain to you. What I've done for the last 7 years is I flew out to Colorado, California, Oregon, Nevada, and I have purchased tens of thousands of dollars worth of medical cannabis oil concentrate to bring back. But you know what? I can't do that anymore. Why can't I do that anymore? Because it is being legalized across the entire country. So while you define it as being legal here in the state of Georgia, and therefore that makes it almost impossible for me to travel to California, Nevada, or Oregon to purchase any, because they're legal. They're not going to give up their $1 million enterprise to help a few families from the state of Georgia. Do you understand that? I need you to understand that there is no place in this entire country that I can go and purchase oil for my autistic 14-year-old son. Do y'all understand that? There is no place in this entire country I can go and legally purchase oil for my 14-year-old son. Nowhere. Okay, because even if I go to Colorado, I have to set up residency. Do y'all know that it was only 18 months ago that the state of Colorado approved autism? 18 months ago. We've been fighting this battle. And again, honestly, you should be ashamed for crushing the spirits of all the families that have come up here. Hundreds of families. And we were told, just do it right. Just follow the process. It just takes freaking time. You lied to us because we've done it for 7 years and we don't have 1 ounce of medicine on the streets of Georgia. I have to drive up to Atlanta every other month and call my drug dealer. And he meets me in a back parking lot and gives me concentrate for my son, who I then go back to my own freaking kitchen and heat up some oil and mix it together. Now, what is the potency of that oil? I ask you. What is the purification of that oil? I ask you. You know what I did one time to try to prove all that? When I was helping hundreds of families across the country, my package got confiscated. Nobody heard about that, did you? In 2017, I was sending out samples to Oregon to prove that the oil that I was creating for my own son was safe and effective, and it was the correct dosage. UPS confiscated my package. It got handed over to LaGrange Police Department. They took it before the grand jury. The GBI, you know what the GBI told them to do? Said, do not under any circumstance make an arrest. Why? Why did the GBI tell the LaGrange PD not to make an arrest when they clearly confiscated something extremely illegal? Why? You may tell you why? Because the court system does not want people like me sitting in front of a jury explaining to them how stupid and idiotic it is what I have to do to take care of my own son. I will tell them exactly what I just told you. And you know what that jury will do? They will say, not guilty. And you want to tell what I'm going to do if you don't pass this law? If you do not pass this law, I am going to actively promote every single illegal drug deal I do. I'm going to actively promote every single illegal drug deal that every single family that calls me every single week and asks me for more oil. And I have to tell them, no, I can't help you anymore. I'm sorry. I can barely get enough oil for my own son. Dozens of families every month contact me and ask me for help. But guess what? Everybody thinks, oh, you just have to go across the state line and bring it back. It's not that simple. It is not that simple. And I'm sorry, but I've listened to too much from Governor Kemp, Lieutenant Governor Duncan, and Ralston. The 3 of you should be ashamed of yourself. You passed this law, you signed this law into place, and it was impossible for it to actually happen. I defended this entire administration for 3 years because every single parent and every other person was telling me they're just dragging it out. This ain't ever going to happen. I said, no, that's not Governor Kemp. That's not Duncan. I'm sorry, until something happens, that is Kemp and that is Duncan. This problem has to be fixed. And frankly, the lobbyists that have been fighting against my families for 7 years, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed to show your face in this room, because you're getting paid to come here and fight against families that had to quit their job or take a day off just to come here and fight for their family. And I'm the only one left. And I'll say another thing to any of you other lobbyists out there. If at any point in time you ever set foot in this room lobbying for the cannabis industry, and now you are trying to stop this bill, Lord help you if I find out. Lord help you if you're one of the 6 that actually do get a license and then sue and shut down medicine for the entire industry here in Georgia. Do that and see how the families of Georgia respond to you. I am not playing with my words. I've put too much into this my entire life. 7 years, and we're looking at 3 more, 10 years. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry to lose my cool, Chairman Powell. You have done everything in your power. And you've probably been one of the very few that have not lied to our families over the last 7 years. But I'm sorry, this has to end. And y'all have to do something. Please convey my message, because I know they're not listening. They're not listening to the families either. I thank you for your time.